Hey everyone, Emily here and welcome to my kitchen. I've been trying to get a little bit better about meal prep, and one of my favorite things to pack along for a snack or even for lunch is egg bites, and I love the ones that they sell at Starbucks. I found a good recipe online for the bacon Gruyere sous vide egg bites that are supposed to taste just like the ones that they sell at Starbucks. It seems super simple and you make it all in a blender. So we're gonna give this a try and see how they come out. The first thing that I'm going to do is prepare my bacon. I'm using veggie bacon, but you can use whatever you want. The recipe calls for 4 slices, and you'll want to cook that until it's crispy and crumble it up. I'm just going to microwave mine. And I might add a 5th just for good measure. I feel like you can't have enough. From here, it's super simple. I'm just gonna combine the rest of my ingredients into a blender. So I'm gonna start by cracking in 6 eggs. I'm gonna crack them all into a separate bowl first, just in case one of the eggs is bad or I get a little piece of shell in there. To that, I'm going to add in what would be 1 1/4 cup of shredded Gruyere. I went to Target for everything and I couldn't find it, so I'm gonna substitute in sharp white cheddar just because I think it'll taste great with the bacon. And you'll also add in 1 1/4 cup of cottage cheese. So this is a pretty high protein recipe as well. From here, I'm going to add in 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. I can only assume this is a texture thing and it's gonna make things a little bit more smooth and kind of hold it all together. And then finally, I'll season it with a little bit of hot sauce, salt, and crack in some pepper. Now I'm just going to blend this all up until it's smooth and then pour it into my muffin tins. This looks pretty smooth to me. So now I'm gonna get my muffin tins prepared and pour this in. I have my muffin tins sitting inside of baking pans because we're gonna be pouring some hot water into here so they kind of steam and we get that same sous vide texture since we're not actually cooking them in water. So what I'll do is generously spray each of these muffin tins. This is gonna make 12 egg bites with a good amount of cooking spray. Then I'm just going to pour in my egg mixture until it's almost to the top. And don't worry, we didn't forget about the bacon. That's gonna be going in shortly. The last thing to do is to just distribute the bacon between all of the egg bites, and the reason that we're doing this last is so that it doesn't all sink to the bottom. So I'll just sprinkle this right over the top. Now I'm just going to press all of that bacon down into the egg bites, kind of submerge it. Just gonna do this gently so that it's not all the way to the bottom, but definitely mostly inside of the egg. And then this is how we're gonna get that sous vide vibe, by adding in a little bit of steam. This is just a pot of water that I've had boiling on the stove. So I'm going to pour that into the bottom of my baking trays. This is definitely optional. And since we added in that boiling water, it cooks at a lower temperature, 300 degrees for 20 to 25 minutes. If you're just gonna straight up bake these without adding in any of that water, you probably wanna up the oven temperature and probably bake it for slightly longer as well. So I'm gonna pop these in and see how they come out. These have had a few minutes to cool and they smell amazing. They come out of the muffin tins pretty easily if you run a spatula around the edges and take them out pretty gently. Give them a few minutes to cool before you do that. So let's give these a try and see if they are just as good as the egg bites from Starbucks. They're really good. The texture with these is super spot on. They're very smooth and pretty silky as well. And if you're not a fan of cottage cheese, You're not gonna taste that at all in here. I would have never guessed that there's any cottage cheese in here. So I would really recommend this, and I hope you give it a try. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, don't forget to hit subscribe and the bell icon so you can get notified every time I post. As always, you can find the full recipe to this in the description box down below. I'll be also linking the original recipe that I followed in the description box just ahead of my recipe if you want to go ahead and visit that original creator's website. If you try this recipe out, let me know how you like it in the comments section or leave a suggestion for the next recipe that I should try. Hope to see you back here next time.